I'm going to let you in on a secret. A person's name doesn't really describe that person. Imagine you are standing in the middle of a grocery store aisle when you see someone walking toward you with a massive, genuine smile. They call out your name, ask how your sister's wedding went, and mention how much they loved that book you recommended last summer. You feel a warm rush of connection. You clearly know this person, and you clearly like them. But as they stand there waiting for a response, your brain hits a brick wall. You can remember they work in marketing, you remember they have a golden retriever named Buddy, and you can even remember they're allergic to shellfish. You have a mountain of personal details about their life, yet the one thing you need, their 4-letter name, has completely vanished. You find yourself trapped in that awkward dance of nodding and smiling, praying they don't notice you're desperately searching your mental files for a label that just isn't there. If this sounds like you, don't worry. You aren't rude, you aren't uncaring, and you certainly aren't losing your mind. You are simply experiencing a very specific quirk of the human brain. Today, we are diving into the fascinating psychology of why some of us forget names almost instantly, and why it might actually be a sign of how your brain prioritizes the world. To understand how this happens in the wild, let's look at Kat. Kat is a high-achieving graphic designer who prides herself on her attention to detail. One afternoon, her boss introduces her to a new client named Mr. Henderson. As they shake hands, Kat is focused on making eye contact, ensuring her grip is firm, and mentally preparing her pitch. She hears the sound Henderson, but her brain treats it like background noise. 5 minutes into the meeting, Kat needs to address him. She searches her mental files and finds nothing. The name is gone. Instead, she remembers he's wearing a navy suit. He drinks his coffee black, and he has a slight accent from the Midwest. Kat isn't being dismissive. Her brain simply performed a next-in-line shuffle. She was so focused on what she was going to say and how she was performing that the name never made the leap from her short-term working memory into her long-term storage. This is a common trait among people who struggle with names. They are often contextual processors. If you are in this group, your brain is likely wired to prioritize high-level information over arbitrary labels. You remember the essence of a person, their values, their stories, and their emotions, because those things have semantic meaning. A name like James or Anita is often just a random string of letters with no initial hook to hang on to. Psychologists call this the Baker-Baker paradox. If I tell you a man is a baker, you picture a hat, the smell of bread, and a warm kitchen. You have a whole web of associations to help you remember. But if I tell you a man's last name is Baker, there is no mental imagery attached. People who forget names easily often have brains that crave that bread smell. They need the depth of a person's character to feel like they truly know them. There is also a fascinating biological component to this. A notable study conducted in 2011 by Dr. Lise Abrams and her team at the University of Florida explored the tip-of-the-tongue phenomenon specifically regarding proper nouns. The research found that names are unique because they are phonologically arbitrary. Unlike a chair, which is an object with a function, a name doesn't describe the person. The study highlighted that the brain uses different neural pathways for names than it does for common nouns, making names much more susceptible to retrieval failure, especially when we are under social pressure. In fact, being bad with names is often a sign of a highly active, associative mind. This group of people tends to be incredibly observant of social cues and body language. You might not remember that the woman you met is named Claire, but you remember exactly how her expression changed when she talked about her kids. You are prioritizing the social data that actually helps you navigate a relationship, even if the label data gets lost in the shuffle. People in this group also tend to be big picture thinkers. While others are busy filing away titles and labels, you are busy connecting the dots between what this person is saying and how it relates to the world around you. You value the quality of the interaction over the formality of the introduction. It's a trait that often makes you a more empathetic listener, even if you have to resort to calling everyone, "Hey you," or "my friend" once in a while. So the next time you blank on a name, give yourself some grace. Your brain isn't failing, it's simply being selective about what it considers important. You are a collector of stories and souls, not just a Rolodex of labels. If you found this explanation helpful and it made you gain a bit more grace about yourself, please consider subscribing to our channel. We love exploring these little quirks of the human mind with you, and your support helps us keep simplifying psychology for everyone. Thank you for watching.